Topic 1. Federal Reserve cuts interest rates amid economic uncertainty and government shutdown concerns. The Federal Reserve cut its benchmark interest rate by 0.25 percentage points on October 29, 2025, amid economic uncertainty and concerns over a government shutdown. This marks the second rate cut of the year, aimed at alleviating labor market stagnation and stimulating economic activity. However, inflation remains above target, complicating the Fed's situation. Due to the shutdown, critical economic data is unavailable, forcing the Fed to rely on private sector data. Fed Chair Jerome Powell noted that while the shutdown negatively impacts economic activity, these effects could reverse once it ends. He also stated that no additional rate cuts are confirmed for the December meeting, emphasizing a careful evaluation of economic conditions. The shutdown is adversely affecting various industries, including manufacturing, and is expected to lower economic growth by 1 to 2 percentage points. While the Fed attempts to stabilize the economy through rate cuts, the uncertainties surrounding inflation and the labor market make policy decisions increasingly challenging. Topic 2. AI's growing impact on industries, with significant investments and job market disruptions. The impact of AI technology on various industries is becoming increasingly significant. Universal Music Group and AI song generation platform Udio have agreed to resolve copyright infringement lawsuits and co-develop a new music generation and streaming platform, highlighting the disruption AI is causing in the music streaming industry. AI technology allows users to create songs in specific styles without musical talent, challenging traditional revenue models in the music industry. Meanwhile, Microsoft is making substantial capital investments to meet the demand for AI and cloud computing, significantly boosting the company's stock price and market value. However, there are concerns that excessive expectations surrounding AI could lead to a bubble. As investments in AI increase across the economy, the labor market is also being affected. The Federal Reserve has lowered interest rates to stimulate economic activity, but it faces a complex situation with a slowing labor market and rising inflation. While AI investments contribute to economic growth, the weakening labor market and inflation issues remain challenges to address. Topic 3. U.S.-China trade negotiations focus on tariffs, agricultural imports, and TikTok ownership. In October 2025, U.S. President Donald Trump and Chinese President Xi Jinping met in South Korea to discuss U.S.-China trade negotiations. The talks focused on tariffs, agricultural imports, and the ownership of TikTok. President Trump agreed to reduce tariffs on China from 57% to 47%, in exchange for China resuming imports of U.S. soybeans and agricultural products, as well as cracking down on illegal fentanyl trafficking. Additionally, China agreed to suspend export controls on rare earth materials for 1 year. Regarding TikTok, the U.S. is pushing for the platform to be owned by American investors, while China insists that TikTok's algorithm must remain under its control, leaving this issue unresolved. These negotiations have contributed to easing tensions between the U.S. and China, but fundamental structural issues remain, indicating the need for further discussions. Topic 4. Paramount and GM announced significant layoffs amid corporate restructuring and economic challenges. General Motors and Paramount have recently announced significant layoffs as part of corporate restructuring in response to economic challenges. GM plans to lay off approximately 1,700 employees at its manufacturing facilities in Michigan and Ohio due to declining demand in the electric vehicle market and changes in regulatory environments. This includes 1,200 layoffs at the Detroit electric vehicle plant and 550 at the Ultium cell battery plant in Ohio, with an additional 700 temporary layoffs at the Tennessee plant. GM describes these adjustments